So we're here today as we count down to our final days at Common Sense. We are the remaining three of the fellow class. Our other two core members departed earlier in the year. Sherry left on last week. So we're just going to introduce ourselves and then say a few words. And
I'm Shanique. I did volunteer training, coordination, and school support.
Hi, I'm Robert. I was the community-based organization liaison and school support for District 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 16, 17, and 31.
hello, I'm Kamisha Crump. I was communication and social media coordinator. So I worked to produce the newsletter, helped to manage social media, Facebook and Twitter. And also I did some program associate work with my districts. This was good. So we're just gonna kind of recap our year based on a few questions that we put together to make it a little fun and easy. Just to share with you some of our highlights from this year, some of the numbers that we were able to help produce. So we're just gonna dive right in. Shanique, you on?
What are your plans after Common Sense? Oh, good question. I will be going to graduate school. That's my plan.
Nice plan.
Yes. Robert, dive in there.
Okay, let's see what I pulled out. What is your most memorable moment? Site visit, service, project, etc. Well, for me, there were so many bright, beautiful occasions that I had the pleasure to attend this year, and I'm very grateful for all of them and learned so much about service learning from all my coaches. But I would have to say the standout for right now, as I'm speaking, was with Cleo Jarvis at PS 335 Granville T. Woods. She was the first coach that I went to visit, and it was in November, shortly after we had launched the Hurricane Harvest, and I went to their kickoff ceremony, their school kickoff ceremony for the harvest. And she had managed to inspire her leaders into creating a play that showed all of the different ways Hurricane Sandy had affected the people, the citizens of New York City. So it was just really fun. The kids did a superb job acting. They wrote it themselves. They rehearsed. They set the rehearsal schedule, and it was through Cleo Jarvis' influence. But what really seemed remarkable to me was the fact that she really cultivated the creativity in them rather than imposing her own ideas. And that was sort of her philosophy throughout the whole program.
One of my favorite memories was actually just before Run for Change. I attended a field day fundraiser at PS 506, coaches Michael Sheard and Jackie Schneider. And it was so much fun. We played Steal the Bacon, and they had that parachute game where you just, throw people up in the air, parachute. And they had like a horseshoe toss, but definitely Steal the Bacon was like a Steal the Bacon remix where you had to like steal the bacon and then make the basket, which was great, and the weather was perfect, and they actually raised quite a bit of money, about $500, I think. I hope I'm doing them justice with that estimate, but I believe they raised about $500 alone from that field day. And thank you to their principal and to everybody that supported them and made sure that that was able to happen. It's the best RFC fundraiser. They raised a lot of money. They also, to support Common Sense, and they also just had a great time, as a school community. And even parents were kind of out there, watching people. It was really good.
So I think for me, Run for Change was quite memorable because it was how we talked about it being, the culminating event, and it's kind of like the highlight of the year, celebrating students in service and philanthropy. But for me, it was culminating because I see my coaches and my students coming through the finish line, like, wow, like you did this. And I got emotional. Like some of my coaches, you build a bond with some of your district and some of your coaches, the ones you're fortunate enough to be able to connect with more than others. So for me, seeing these coaches that I'm talking to on a day-to-day basis, that they kind of like made it through the finish line, or made it, it was kind of like in a literal sense, but like figuratively, like it's the finish line of the Penny Harvest, like you made it to this point. So for me, it was like, wow, you did it. We all made it together. Like fellows are like waiting on the other end of the finish line for all these, students to run through and be excited about, this big day. So I have to say, Run for Change for me was like the highlight. Let's see. There are 2 more questions here, so let's see which one I pick, and we may just all answer the last one, maybe. Let's see. Oh, okay. How many community and service grants did your schools earmark? Okay, prepared to answer that question. My school's community grants totaled $75,032.60 for 216 grants, and for service grants, $4,082.41. So combined, they wrote 270 community grants and service grants. So I think that was pretty substantial. Going along with everyone else, with all the other school support fellows were able to help mobilize this year. So I guess we can all answer the last question if you feel so obliged.
Sure.
Let's see what it is first.
Patsy.
Right? Oh, I think we all have something to add.
Sure.
Which phase of Penny Harvest did you enjoy most and why?
The phase that I enjoyed the most was make grants phase. It was really interesting to see students deliberate and see how critically they think about these issues that are important to them and to their community, school community and otherwise. So that was definitely my favorite, seeing these little researchers and philanthropists getting out there, contacting organizations, calling them, asking them questions, doing their due diligence. I thought that was just incredible to see, and it relates, like for us as professionals, it relates to things that we also need to do in our own work. So that was my favorite part.
Yeah, I would have to say ditto to Shanique. The roundtable phase was particularly awesome. Watching the kids really go to work, connecting with organizations, researching using the organization finder, reaching out, making their own lists, looking at the community needs, doing their interviews with people in the community and other teachers and other students to find the most useful way to make their grants. So definitely the roundtable. I really think that's sort of the heart and the soul of the Penny Harvest. It's giving children the voice and the leadership to make their own grant-making decisions.
I agree with Robert and Shanique that the roundtable phase was, the phase that I felt most involved in, and I felt like the students really were serious about deliberating and coming to like a democratic, decision, and the consensus building was through and true. Like every roundtable that I was able to sit on, students were really serious about coming to a decision, and it was a healthy debate all the time. And I'll add that I think the take action phase for me was a favorite also, because being able to see the students translate that same enthusiasm from creating grants to getting out there and getting their hands dirty and doing service projects and being able to help restore and rejuvenate these gardens that were impacted by Hurricane Sandy. So I think this year's take action phase was a really good one, because it kind of held true to the whole Hurricane Harvest initiative that we launched after everything happened with that. So I think those 2 phases would have to be, I think, the most memorable for me and my favorite. So program year kicks off, you will have new Civic Corps members here, helping you usher in the year, helping you get, acclimated to everything that's going to be happening in the year. And I want to say that I really feel like this was a complete experience for me, from interacting with the coaches to the day-to-day tasks here in the office. I just feel like it was truly an experience that I don't think I would have been able to be a part of in another term of service year or any at another position, which is really comprehensive. And I appreciate my coaches for allowing that to be true.
Yeah, thanks everybody. It's wonderful working with you, and I will be actually beginning my new job at New York Hears on August 19th as the Disaster Recovery Manager for Staten Island, so hopefully I will continue to connect with some of you. rc572@nyu.edu. Shoot me an email.
Also thank you everyone for being so welcoming to new fellows every year. And this year was no exception, and it's really great to be a part of the Common Sense family and the larger New York City family that they've created, and to help you all, help the city. It's a really amazing role, and I'm grateful for the experience. I think as Marisha said, it's been through like a holistic experience, good and bad. It's a whole year, so there's a lot that can happen in that time. But thank you, and thank you for all your well wishes going into our next endeavors.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.